So hi everyone, Craig Hanson here, and yes, welcome to my video. Ben Hogan, what a story and what a remarkable golf swing. Now in this video we'll be taking you through different views and angles of his swing, and something in this video for everyone if you're looking at shallowing out your plane, or perhaps working on your compression, your lateral movement, or even picking up your speed. We're going to get into that in this video. Now Tiger Woods said there was only two players in history to own their own swings, one being Mo Norman and one being Ben Hogan. He also spoke about this guy's ability to move and twist his body into different positions, and that he was almost like super flexible, built out of rubber almost, and we'll get in there and have a look at that now. Right, so the great man. Let's have a look now. That first initial move in the backswing, definitely we can see that the right hip moving back and the head moving down. Great drill this one, guys, to get your shoulders working on the correct plane. That's just standing in front of a mirror and applying that. Now have a look at that right pocket. I think he's got his cigarettes in the back pocket there. It's really sticking out. I don't think it's his mobile phone, but we can definitely see here that that head has moved down a lot at the top of the swing. Numbers are interesting, from the shoulder into the belt buckle, really down in the low 30s. And don't see that very often. And for a line from the top of the head, we see that the head's already moved down perhaps 2 to 3 inches, and or even maybe more. Now have a look at the tour average of movement down is 2 to 4 inches. It helps us hit it with some more lag, creating compression. A bent right arm helps you pick up your speed. Also stops flipping the ball, and for advanced players, that awful feeling of being caught or stuck with the right hip. One of the most important moves if you're hitting it left is getting some movement with your head down in the downswing or the backswing, and a very, very important area to notice. Now, the lead arm position here, guys, when we're looking at it, we're seeing a 32-degree angle, and much lower than the original shaft plane. The advantage of this is obviously that it helps shallow out the plane. Okay, so Ben Hogan had his right elbow here on the line and slightly lower, and from this position here, what that does is the elbow just traces straight back down, and it's going to get you on an earlier plane, a shallower plane. The interesting move that he had here was the move from the top, but not only that, we'll just get into that in a second, is this the flexibility in this shoulder joint here. Now when we're having a look at this right arm, when we draw a line straight down the elbow, we're into an 80-degree area, which is really amazing. And we just get a line up the spine angle here, so we've got a triangle that remains inside the body. Now not everybody can do that, you know, with their wrists and shoulders, and we're seeing other players. Here's Cabrera, two-time Masters champion. The way people have built, Jack Nicklaus and players like that had to, you know, when they're getting in this position, we see that the elbow's higher than the spine angle, and it just takes these players a lot longer to, you know, get it on plane. As we see, the club starts to slowly move and come around. And for a lot of players with these high right arms, you'll see a lot of them weighting more with this right side, and not really opening up the hips all that much and giving them a chance to get this right elbow back in front of them.
World-class golf instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction.
But when we're looking at someone like Hogan, you know, when they've got this ability to, you know, get this elbow into this type of position here, they're really the luxury to actually, you know, steepen this club then onto plane, and you'll see these guys often then really opening up a lot more and getting the hips and the shoulders and the chest to rotate very hard. Now we get to the top of the swing, and from this initial move from the top, when we see this right elbow, see that right elbow, the bottom part of that right elbow moving in. All right, you see now, this is a flattener. Now if you guys can feel that, it's not that easy to do, but if you can feel like your right elbow, that bottom part pushes in, you'll definitely get the elbow more underneath the hands. You can see now that the club face is in a much more aggressive position. And by bringing this elbow in, it really can help shallow out your plane much earlier. Head continues to move down, hips are back an absolute mile. And as we look at the plane on this thing here, Incredible moves. Have you ever seen anyone with their hips that deep before? Look how bent that right arm. His head continues to drop and just turning that club into a battering ram as he smashes it. And the club actually comes out here underneath the original shaft plane. And one of the advantages of that is that the lead wrist doesn't have to bow down, and it can just make for such a passive release through the ball. Hip is back. It's an incredible amount through the golf ball here. And the dispersion of this, look at that ball takeoff. Have a look at that. It's just smashed, isn't it? And through into the finish, we've got side bend. We've got, look at the head on the side. Look at the numbers here. Really down low. And those arms extremely close. That shoulder joint so flexible in here to be able to get this arm pointed back a little bit, something like a Hunter Main, but that head and neck tilt, that's an anti-left move. So anyone heading it out to left, if you're lowering your head and you're tilting it on the side, it really prevents the club face from over-rotating through the golf ball. Now the guy did throw the suitcase at it in the younger days. He was well known for his distance. And have a look at this one. It's just absolutely, I think he likes it too, absolutely smashes it through the golf ball. Just really a lot of power and speed in there, isn't it? Now the setup was interesting with this right leg. He got it really well on the outside here, moved then back slightly into that right leg, loaded up on the right, and this initial move here, we can really see a lot of head movement and hip movement, lateral movement, really moving into the golf ball, but the head still remains behind the ball. And around this area here, some people think there's no lateral movement in the swing. I think you can get tablets for that if you look online. It's just really crazy stuff. But if you can see around when we get down around this area of the swing here, one of the power moves is to get this left hip to lift up. And you'll see that left shoulder also as it turns here, lifting up. And a lot of the guys with high club head speeds, they'll twist that left foot. It's like a subconscious move. It saves their left knee. Seen just about every player over 120 miles per hour on tour doing it, but really we know that Justin Thomas lifts his left hip up around this area 3 inches into impact, and obviously that is helping lift up the handle and getting some snap and getting some speed in the golf ball. Now one of the moves of this great iron play, as we see, is obviously also this movement from the top of the swing. That we were seeing with Tiger Woods back in the day. We'll just grab this swing out as on the side here as well. And we'll just have a look at Tiger Woods. So a similar move these great ball strikers have in their swings from the top of the swing here. We'll see that initial move, that big hip bump and head moving down. I'll just make that line a little bit bigger so you can see the amount of his head's moving downwards as well. So these great players, they do have a lot in common when you're looking at that initial move of that big lateral shift. We know that their hips are opening up a lot. One of the great things I love about this swing is the pivot. And from the front view here, we see that the shoulders free, the shoulders are down, and see the mouth, I should say, is free. And it's just, see that left heel just lifting up the ground. We still have 25% of the tour pros on tour lifting the left heel. This is a lot of the time we don't see it, we don't notice it. And a wonderful pivot, and an area that I just think it's just so important to notice, that we can just see these great straight pronounced lines here in the swing. I'll just jump on the right line there and we'll just have a look at this right leg position here. It's amazing, isn't it, when it's all lined up like a machine. It's just getting into that position that with the shoulder and the mouth being free and wound up, and a huge movement forwards in both directions here with the hip and the head. And that's really one of the secrets of the golf swing, to recenter, and from there we can just clear it out of the way, and we can see that great players always have that look that the chest is up and into this amazing finish position. What a golf swing. And Ben Hogan, the stories of this guy and everything that went on really is amazing. There's my video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it.